Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. Today, we are going to present you about the risk mitigation in our ABC company. Without wasting time, let's get started. Before that, let us introduce our group safe members. So let's see what you can see. Founded in 1937, ABC is a company that engaged in the manufacture sale of passenger car, commercial vehicles, and related parts and accessories, primarily in Japan, North America, Europe, and Asia. The company operates in three business segments, which are automobile business, finance business, and also other business. Automobile segment is engaged in the design, manufacture, and sales of sedan, minivan, trucks, and related vehicles, as well as related parts and products. The finance segment is engaged in the finance and vehicle leasing business. The other segment is engaged in the design and manufacture sales of house as well to conduct information communication business. ABC company also provide robots, basic research project, marine, and agrobio business.
Hi, I'm Muhammad Izzat Fahmi bin Muhammad Zamri. Here I will talk to you about risk mitigation. What is risk mitigation? Risk mitigation is defined as the process of reducing risk exposure and minimizing the likelihood of an incident. It entails continually addressing the top risks and concerns to ensure the business to fully protected. Risk mitigation also refers to the process of planning and developing methods and options to reduce risks or risk to project objective. A project team might implement risk mitigation strategies to identify, monitor, and evaluate risks and consequences inherent to completing a specific project, such as new product creation. It includes the action put into place to deal with issues and the effects of those issues regarding a project. The important part of this is a strategy to prepare for and reduce the effects of threats a business faces. Risk mitigation takes steps to lessen the harmful effects of hazards and disaster on business continuity. There are several types of risk mitigation strategies. Often, these strategies are used in combination with each other, and one may be preferable over another, depending on the company's risk landscape. The types of risk mitigation strategies that I want to share is risk avoidance. Risk avoidance is used when the consequences are deemed too high to justify the cost of mitigating the problem. It is a common business strategy and can range from something as simple as limiting investment to something as severe as not building office in potential war zones. The goal of a risk avoidance strategy is to completely eliminate a particular risk rather than just reduce the effects it will have on the business. The avoidance strategy presents the accepted and assumed risks and consequences of a project and present opportunities for avoiding those accepted risks. Some methods of implementing the avoidance strategy are to plan for risks and then take steps to avoid it. It is the action that avoids any exposure to the risk whatsoever. It's important to note that risk avoidance is usually the most expensive of all risk mitigation options. Mitigation of performance risks, such as insufficient resources to perform the work, inadequate design or putting dynamics, can allow a project team to identify possible ways to avoid these types of risk situations that may cause issue with project performance. For instance, a production team might test more durable product materials to avoid the risk of product failure with less durable materials. Similarly, if there is performance risk within the project team's dynamics, interactive team management can be implemented to avoid issues within the team. Avoiding cost issue is another implementation of this strategy. For example, ABC company team may outline all anticipated costs as well as account for any costs that could come up so that the consequence of going over budget can be avoided.
Company ABC could happen many incidents and risks that cannot be avoided, and loss control help the company ABC to work out to achieve the minimal losses and sustain the firm. It is a non-financial aspect where the loss control helps reduce the damage earned other than risk avoidance. It can be shown that ABC company can make a prevention through the possible risk and potential failure unexpected scenario, such as the joking and careless mistake of throwing away cigarette butts anyway. This could lead to the fire in the building. The method to preventing this risk is through the banning smoking in the building area, and maybe ABC company could creating specialized room for the smoking area. Same goes as a flood issue that we are currently facing in the monsoon weather. ABC company can upgrade the facility, building and factory area, such as creating a drainage capable withstand with the flash flood, or a system that could prevent the flash water from the entry buildings and factory area, such as a flooding door barriers. Loss reduction is also one of the methods that can be used to reduce the percentage and the scales of the risk can be happen. Through the program that has been set up by the safety department in the ABC company that could handle, such as any scheme program for the injury accidents, on what action can be taken to reduce the growing pain. Such example, calling a medical assistant of the company, and also it can be set up for the medical team's research studies that can help them reduce the lost blood too much and decrease the rate of injuries suffered.
As stated on the internet, ABC company could be categorized as a successful company because it is a well-known global company. After all, most countries know about it. There are some processes to make the business keep moving forward and avoid the risk that could happen. One of them is a retention technique. Retention is included in the risk financing, whereby losses are retained by generating funds within and outside the organization to pay for losses. The company can decide to absorb and accept partly or wholly potential loss rather than transfer the risk to an insurer or other party. When this technique is run in the company, it is usually less expensive than purchasing insurance because of the many fractional costs such as administrative costs of purchasing insurance, commission to insurance salespeople, premium taxes, and insurer profit are reduced or eliminated. The organization benefits from the use of cash that will otherwise be paid in premiums until it is required to pay for losses. The company needs to be aware of the risk and deliberately maintain all or part of them. In addition, ABC company must be aware of when the losses are occurring. They have to stabilize it back by making a large deductible on an insurance policy to minimize the losses. It entails prior risk awareness, which are conscious provisions to finance losses arising therefrom. Besides that, the company can use external risk retention, which is a technique for managing risk where the company transfers the financial consequences of risk to another third party.
Risk mitigation last solutions is insurance. Risk mitigation approaches, particularly reinsurance, are effective instruments for insurance and reinsurance company to manage risks according their strategies and capabilities. They are used to diversify risk and mitigate risk in order to improve capital management. There are numerous insurance coverage plans available, including essential coverage, advanced coverage, premium coverage, and luxury coverage. All of these services have their own specialties. The basic policy provides protections for the car, covering both its own damage and third-party responsibilities stemming from an accident or theft. And for advanced coverage, this complete plans protects against losses caused by a partial loss and total loss, as well as depreciation. Meanwhile, for premium coverage, this cover provided 360 degrees protection for your car against liabilities deriving from partial loss, theft, and total loss. And for luxury coverage, this cover gives 100% protections not only for your car but also for your family. It also protects you from liabilities resulting from a partial loss, theft, or total loss, and giving you complete peace of mind. So now we turn to the implementation of risk measure. For step 1 is identifying existing and potential risks. Risk identification is the process through which an organization learns about the areas in which it is exposed to risk. The inventory approach is designed to generate information on sources of resources, hazard, risk factors, perils, and loss exposures. Risk assessment is the initial step in the management process. Identifying risks in the workplace requires looking for objects and situations that could endanger workers. Physical working conditions, equipment, materials, and substances used that might expose to chemicals, fuels, and solvent. Working planning and management are all major sources of risk in the workplace. Most managers use a methodical approach to risk detection, such as orientation, insurance policy checklists, surveys, flowcharts, and financial statement analysis. Neglecting essential risk might lead to an over-reliance on secondary and tertiary risks. Step 2 is evaluating potential risk. A risk is a danger or damage that could occur during any work. These potential hazards could happen in ABC's company, such as financial markets and economic risk, industry and business risk, and regulatory and legal risk. The word risk means an action that is possible in certain circumstances but not guaranteed to occur. Financial and economic risk is defined as the risk exposure of a foreign investment due to changes in business condition or the negative effects of macroeconomic factors. An increase in the price of raw materials that ABC and its supplies use may lead to a higher production cost. This could have a negative impact on ABC's profits in the future, and it's possible that the company won't be able to pass on all those costs to its consumer. ABC's ability to adequately respond to the rapid changes in the automotive market will be fundamental to its future success. Increased competition may lead to lower vehicle unit sales, which may result in further downward price pressure and adversely affected ABC's financial condition. The term industry risk refers to the elements that can affect both positive and negative a certain industry, which can affect the enterprise within the sector. ABC may have to implement a safety measures such as recalling for vehicles that are not or may not be thus not completely within the legal and regulatory safety. The company might be subject to legal proceedings in the respects of various issues, including product liability and infringement of intellectual property. These pending legal proceedings could adversely affect financial conditions and result as well as operations of ABC.
Risk management approach are divided into two categories, which is the first one is risk financial, which is the financial risk management, and the second one is the risk control, non-financial risk management. It is concerned with the decrease of the entity of loss and encompasses the risk avoidance and risk reduction approach. Through the loss control method, in this case, when it comes to the data, we are making effort to inform the employees on the security procedure, which include the procedure for preventing data leaking and responding to the cyber attack from the outside on ABC company website. And also, due to COVID-19 and increased usage, ABC cuts the domestic manufacturing for a few months to relieve the pressure on the supplier who are experiencing chips and other part shortage. This also can separation the work schedule area for the ABC office production facility divided into Japan, North America, Europe, Asia, and United States to help them mainly focus on the risk if any happen in one of these areas in coverage. This strategy has the potential to lessen the effect of any losses that occur. Risk financial, which is the financial risk management, is the process of securing external cash to cover the financial impact of the company unanticipated losses. The retention is one of the paths to the ABC to pay the consistent and relevant dividend while they maintain improving the dividends payment ratio through the medium to the long terms. They propose to implement the proportion repurchase in the flexible manner, taking into the account several elements such as funding in the growth dividend level in order to improve the capital efficiency. The ABC motto ensuring company is a captive insurance, which is they provide a car service agreement or guarantee auto protection agreement and access the wear and tear coverage to its parent, which is sold through the ABC, Lexus and Allied dealership around the country. ABC provide insurance to consumers who are purchased their creations in order to keep existing clients safe in the event of the accident and to maintain the control over their outcomes. They offer the three types of insurance coverage depending on the source of the protection required. Many firms collaborate with the ABC Insurance Management Solution to provide the innovation and value their customer.
Step 4 stands for selecting and implementing the risk management programs. ABC company have two factors that can be seen in handling risk management, which are financing criteria and non-financial criteria. Financial criteria are the factors that can affect a company's profit. The potential risk might happen because of sales millions that have been achieved by ABC. When money is gone and the company gains loss, it surely affects the cash flow and allocation budgeting by the finance department. For instance, the robbery occurring may be that some cars have been taken away while they rob money or cash. This may lead to a shortage of stocks and keep downfall in terms of financial performance because they need to recover the money that they lost and get a refund from the insurer's policy on that risk. This financial situation might also affect the research and development department for the coming project. The other risks that can be figured out are bribery and smuggling out funds of the company. This also can be seen that if this risk happen, companies will face a loss of some money that can be used as expenses to the marketing channels that help boost sales and interest of potential buyers. Thus, it will become one of the reasons why the rate of return profit decreases more than it is supposed. The second factor is non-financial criteria. This criteria is focusing on the growth of the organization, either humanitarian aspect or legal requirements. One potential risk that ABC might have was sleep disk or injury during working at the workplace. When workers or employees are easily injured and have weak health, then it can affect their key performance and may result in a low bonus for workers. Thus, it will affect morality and mentors will easily feel worthless. This humanitarian aspect was important to boosting their morality and attitude to become better. In legal requirements, ABC is known as a Japanese and global brand for automobiles. In addition, each country has their legal requirements for transport like cars, vans, and motor roads. Thus, there will always be recent updates from the legal departments of each country. These were led by recently updated laws in each country that affect ABC company to do some recovery and renew the regulation and standards based on updates made in the other countries. Some of the countries' production got suspended because of an uncertainty issue based on a national report in the newspaper. There are some of the selection of the risk management techniques. For the low frequency and low severity, it is normal robbing incidents rarely happen in big companies where they have high security. If robbery is still happening, then it is only a minor effect on ABC company. It only can be avoided by using risk assumptions. Next, low frequency and high severity, such as fires or storm by nature might happen. It will affect the most valuable assets like machines and offices that hold important documents with some data on the computer's PC. On the other hand, high frequency and low severity, such as damage to the ABC company machine. It has high frequency and only affect minor advantage, which is production, because normally it can be fixed easily with professional technicians. Lastly, the high frequency and high severity, such as flood, are normal in Malaysia to happen. So, we can predict what will happen but do not know when it will happen because nowadays our monsoon and weather are not back then stable as we can manage the timeline. Using risk avoidance is the only way to counter it. It has a high effect on the ABC company. The last but not least, Step 5 that stands for evaluating, reviewing, and controlling the risk management programs. ABC company should hire a credit risk manager that can help reduce any existing and potential risks. Even if they give the high wages, the same level of risk has point to care. There are a lot of risk managers, however, there are just a few of them who have certificates in this industry. Other than that, the finance department also needs to improve their knowledge and keep updating with new financial risk issues. Maybe sending them to the meeting abroad with other financial managers can improve discussion on how to resolve these critical points such as geopolitical and climate changes. ABC company also can ensure all of these potential risks might occur to insurance company or self-insurance and use retention funds. This can save a lot of losses that will be improved by them. All of these have their advantage and disadvantage. Among the advantage are can reduce insurance costs, protect cash flow, gain new knowledge and experience in handling potential risks, and coverage for risk is a realistic premium. Nevertheless, they are also have disadvantage side, which are the operating costs, the time and capital commitment, and the complex procedure.
So that's all from us. Hopefully, we can realize and study the importance of the risk mitigation. Maybe we can use it in another future time. So at least we can share our knowledge in the company to light up the burden. So, tata, see you next time. Thank you for watching.